Hello, and welcome back to Winging It, the show where I wing it while I'm cooking dinner. Try to cook something interesting. Today it's gonna probably be a quick one. I'm gonna be cooking keto fried pork chop and a pasta salad made with zoodles. See, there's a question in the chat right now. What is your favorite breed of sandwich? I don't know what that means. My favorite breed of sandwich, probably in the like shaved steak family. If we're going with that, um, if we're going with the breed of the sandwich. Anyway, so today's actually probably gonna be a quick episode. Everything here is relatively fast to make. So I'm gonna begin with the yeah, I'm gonna begin making the noodles for the pasta, just because that's gonna be the fastest thing to do first. So I have some leftover zucchini here that we're gonna make zoodles with. I have my zoodler right here. This is a vegetable spiralizer. Attaching our zucchini to the base, we have a 3 millimeter blade on here. This will create our zoodles. I just put this on here. I got this secured to the counter, and I just spin it, and it creates zoodles. Every few spins, I like to grab a handful and pull them out because I don't like my zoodles to be long and ungainly. All right, that's the first pile and our second one. This one still has an end on it. I just need to chop that off. We can continue making zoodles. So we gotta pull this out, pull that off. That's trash. Resecure this thing to the table because it came off, because it always comes off. The one thing I don't like about this zoodler is its suction cup sucks. But it doesn't suck. That's kind of the issue. Alright. Yeah. So this is basically a fully my own recipe sort of creation. Making up this pasta salad on the fly, basically. Um, Still like my zoodles. So we got our zoodles here. When we're ready to cook them, we're gonna blanch them. Right now, I've got some hot oil going for the pork chop and some water boiling for blanching these. But we'll wait until we're ready to cook to actually do that. Let's prepare our pork as the next step. I can take this and move it aside because we don't need it anymore. Now I'll put the zoodles in this bowl that we're gonna put them in later anyway, just so that they're out of the way and off the table. So the first thing with the pork is we want to take it out of our package and dry it off. This is a freeze-dry package that I like to put my meats in. Yep. So we get this nice little skinny bone-in pork. Place it on this paper towel. Just give it a nice dry, which helps with seasoning sticking to it and getting a better browning in the process. All right. So next thing we're doing, actually before we get to that, back to the pork. We want to lightly salt and pepper it. Not too much because there's going to be more seasonings in our breadcrumbs. And our breadcrumbs are going to be pork panko. I'll show you that once we get to it. There we go. Now I can put this aside. Take out my 2 plates that I have here. First plate, we're going to be putting some egg in it. I like to use liquid egg just because I'm too lazy to get actual eggs and, crack and do all that stuff. And usually these last a little longer than regular eggs. So I'm putting a little bit of egg in the plate right here. We're going to season that with salt and pepper. We're going to just spread it out nicely. Make sure you get everything a little mixed in. That's ready to go. Next, for the panko, we have this, pork panko. It's basically grinded up pork rinds. Very versatile. You can do a lot of things with this without adding any carbs to your meal. And you just pour them out like you would regular panko. You do not want to salt these though. They are also already very salty. But I will be adding some other spices. Gonna go for like an Italian flair with this, so I'm gonna add a little black pepper. And some Italian herb blend. Which this one's empty. But don't worry. I have more. Because of course I have more. I live off the Italian herb blend. Here we go. We wanted to get that nice and seasoned to get those flavors of the herbs. Then we just mix this around. Try to even it out. Now let's go over to the oil. I'm gonna switch to the other camera for this part of the process. Oops, forgot to actually start the camera. Don't worry, you don't see anything. Pay no attention to the black screen. There we are. Alright, so we got our seasoning and our pork. We're going to move these over right next to our tray of oil, our pan of oil. I don't know why I said tray. It's just, and if you notice here, we only put a little bit of oil on, and this is this oil right here. It's sauteing and grilling olive oil. So we got just enough to really coat the bottom of the pan, and then we're taking our pork. We're going over to the egg wash. We're going to wash it in the egg. Then we're going to put it in the pork rinds. Try to get this all nice and covered on all sides. Don't really want anything showing through. That should be good. Now we just take this, we lay it in our oil. This should only take a few minutes to cook because it's a very thin piece of pork. We can then just throw out the rest of this stuff. Back to this camera. Yeah, so I'm just going to take this, throw this away. We're done with this. And I'm going to grab a pair of tongs to flip that once I think it's ready to be flipped. At the same time, let's start blanching our pasta. So this one is easier if I bring this over because this is going to be a very quick process. This is something that we want to take that pasta only being there for 30 seconds. I have this colander on strainer and our pasta. So I'm going to be pouring this in there and need a fork. 2, 3, 4, 5. Just mix it around. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. All right, that's all we need. All right, I picked this up. I use my strainer, and I'm over my sink right now, and I'm just going to be pouring this into the colander. So this should be ready to go. You just got to place it back over the bowl that we have here so that the water drains out. Put this checked out. Over here. Move you to this side. Yeah. If I flip this, this should be nice golden brown on this side. Needs a little longer on that side. Needs about another probably 30 seconds. Yep, just a matter of waiting. Check it again. Trying to grab it by the bone so I don't lose too many breadcrumbs from the meat. Come on. Yeah, that should be good on that side. Now we just put it on this side, let it cook a little longer. While that cooks, we can start our sauce for the salad. So the first thing I gotta do is take a cucumber and slice it up, get that ready to get going. Slice it in half and just give it a couple. And that cucumber is ready to go for the salad. Now we're gonna make our dressing. I'm gonna be using some olive oil, which this one's almost empty, so I'm gonna be grabbing my bigger one. A little olive oil. We're gonna go for about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then I'm gonna be adding some Italian herb blend. We want like basically a nice coating of that on top. Some garlic powder. Some lemon juice. Just a few squirts of this. I put in 5 right there. And we're definitely gonna need a lot of salt on this. I'm gonna taste it, and it might need some sort of vinegar, but I want to taste it first just to make sure. Yeah, definitely needs a little vinegar. I'm just gonna be putting like a splash of apple cider vinegar in here. And by a splash, I mean basically another tablespoon. Splash, tablespoon, what's the difference? But a lot, actually. Just going eye to eye. Alright. Let's taste this. Much better. Got a little more bite to it. Alright, I'm gonna check on that pork. Other side of the pork with a much cleaner flavor, so I'm actually flipping it one more time, trying to get this color on it. If I lift the camera, we're trying to get this color right here. This is what we're looking for. So I'm gonna put it on the other side for another 30 seconds to a minute. And while that's going on, we're gonna start plating. Get our plate ready for the food. We're gonna empty out the water from here. I don't want any of the excess stuff that didn't get cooked in here. These are gonna be nice and a little soft. Oop, that one's a long one. A little soft. This is why you like pull them halfway through. Yeah, but still with a lot of bite to it. So it's more of a pasta salad feel than a cooked pasta feel. All right, that pork should be done. So let me move this down. You can see our nice piece of pork here. And now let's finish our salad. So I'll move this to the side for a minute, let this settle while we do our pasta salad. Actually, before I do that, one thing you should always remember when you're pulling something out of frying, hit it with a quick batch of salt before the oil starts drying up. That actually helps enhance the flavor, just a little bit extra salt. All right, so let's get this to an elevated platform. So we got our pasta here. We're gonna add all of our dressing. Make sure we get all that good stuff at the bottom. Then we're gonna add our cucumbers. And just toss it. Now for plating. So we got our pork chop here. Move this a little like that. Gotta try to get this nicely on the plate. Try to open up a little channel here for some of the cucumbers. Get the cucumbers all around. Try to get a little bit of that excess oil just to sit on the pasta. And voila! Probably the fastest meal I've ever made on this channel. It's gonna be delicious too. Alright, let's give this a test. Grabbing a knife. Nope, before we give this a test, I need to take a picture. Let me move you out of the way while I get this picture done. Place you here so you can see my picture taking process. So we want the pork to be the mainstay of the show, so something like that. We're gonna try not to get all the oil that's in the plate to actually be in the picture. Just trying to make room in the background so that everyone doesn't see the mess I make when I cook. And let's get out the camera. Ooh. I want that in the picture. That looks nice. Yeah, that looks nice. That's exactly what. Damn it! What were you doing in the picture? Yeah, that one's better. Nope, stevia bottles in the picture. One more time, then it's chow time. I like to get a good picture. Not. Um, oh yeah, that one's the best one. That one's the picture. Perfect. All right, let's try this out. So, got everything here. Let's try the pork first. Got a nice piece, perfectly cooked through. It's amazing how the pork rind honestly does not taste like pork rind. It tastes like breadcrumbs after you cook it. You would never notice that. You could feed this to someone that's not on keto and they wouldn't know. All right. Try this pasta salad with our blanched zoodles. Mmm. 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 Reminds me of family parties. Having a nice pasta salad at the table. Yep. So I think that's gonna be it, though. Very quick episode this week. Well, today. So yeah, have a good night and keep being well.